What's my name? You set up all this equipment, you brought me a drink, and you're asking my name. What do you think I am, an easy pickup? Oscar Goodman. I come from a very interesting background. I used to represent reputed mobsters here in Las Vegas and around the country, and then switched gears completely and ran for mayor of the great city of Las Vegas and served 12 years. I was term limited, so I couldn't run anymore, but I did participate in the history of the United States. I'm the first mayor to swear in a spouse to succeed the mayor, and my wife is now starting her third term, and by the time all is said and done, we'll have been the mayors of Las Vegas for a quarter of a century. In both categories, you're addressing the public. In a courtroom, it's a jury of 12. When you're running for office, it's the jury of a community. And I have found that the one thing that they have in common is they're able to spot a phony. And they're able to spot somebody who's trying to pull the wool over their eyes. And if you're honest with them, they could read it. When I was practicing, they were making the movie Casino here. And they said to the person that De Niro was impersonating, who should play the lawyer? Well, he said, my lawyer, Oscar Goodman. So they called me, and I got the part as the lawyer in the movie Casino, and I loved it. I loved starring with De Niro and Pesci and Sharon Stone. It was awesome. And the movie came out, and my mother called me, and she said, it's a good thing you're a lawyer. I saw your movie. That was the end of my acting career. But I missed it so much, I said, you know, I'm going to fool them all. I'm going to run for mayor. Because in order to make a movie in Las Vegas, they have to get a permit from City Hall, and I'm going to insist after I win that in every movie I get a part. I mean, to my clients, each case they had was the most important thing in their life. So I treated each case with the kind of gravitas that it deserved. Well, I represented the Pesci character for years. It kept him, he never did a day in jail, even though they said he killed 27 people while I was his lawyer. So I said, shame on them. They were saying how bad a person I am. I say, I may be a bad person, but you're a horrible law enforcement agent. 27 murders and you couldn't put him in jail for one day? So I had that kind of nonsense taking place, and the other fellow was placed in the Black Book, which is a list of excluded persons where they can't go into a casino. I represented Jimmy Chagra, who was supposedly the biggest gambler in Las Vegas's history, and he was charged along with Woody Harrelson's father of killing a federal judge down in Texas and got a not guilty in his case. When I was elected in 1999, downtown Las Vegas was the beginning of a war zone. It was rubble. It had no energy at all. It was lethargic. People left it at 5 o'clock. Nobody was walking around. There weren't any new restaurants opening. And I said to myself, you know, I'm going to create a renaissance in the downtown here. Began to develop it. We brought in the premium outlets, brought in the World Market Center. Larry Ruvo with the Ruvo built a Frank Gehry designed magnificent structure and enticed the Cleveland Clinic to come out and work on problems of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and MLS. And then the Smith Center, a beautifully designed Art Deco building went up. It's as fine as any place in the city. It all happened at once. People began to believe that we were going to have a downtown, and then these casinos where I was scared to death to go in for fear of getting a secondary lung disease, they began to fix themselves up. Then little restaurants popped up, and 18B, our arts district, popped up at First Friday, and it hasn't stopped. So in that regard, the only thing I failed to do was to get the professional sports here that I wanted, but the mayor did that after she got elected. The owner, Mr. Zabadowicz of the Plaza, and I had a heated discussion when I was the mayor, and I said, you know, I'm going to have one of my clients burn that place down unless you fix it up. And I guess he believed me too. And the day I left City Hall, I got a phone call from him, and he said, come over to the Plaza, very pleasant gentleman. Come over to the Plaza, I want to talk to you. So I came over, and he said, how would you like to have a restaurant in the Plaza? I said, the way it looks now? He said, I wouldn't let my name be associated with it. It was a mess. So he said, I'm going to fix it up. And he did. He kept his word. We have a beautiful restaurant here at Oscar's. It's modern, and yet it's old Las Vegas all at the same time. It's unique and iconic with the dome out there overlooking Fremont Street. Just outstanding. Great ambiance, great service, a lot of energy. It's a place that hums and buzzes, and that's what I wanted. Well, I love the bone-in ribeye. It's too much, though. My wife and I will share it and then take home what's left over. And we eat it for breakfast and then lunch and dinner and the following day. And I won't let the dog eat it, though. The bone is mine. I will gnaw at it and make sure that that's the best part of the steak. I love the appetizers are phenomenal. And my wife, she'll come here. She'll have the lox or the smoked salmon. It's with a wonderful sauce and a bowl of onion soup and then chocolate ice cream for dessert. And that's what she loves. So it has something for everybody's taste. Oh, this is so near and dear to my heart. This is my Bombay Sapphire Gin, and I drink it differently than anybody else with a jalapeno in it, and it's the best. From here to here, which I've already done, it's mellow. From here to here, which I'm about to do, you lose the sense of feel in your fingers and your toes. So I'm going to start that process right now. That is good. I love coming to Oscars, I really do. The problem is, a liver can only take so much before it quivers. If you walk into this great restaurant, and the first thing you see is a wine room filled with very expensive bottles of wine. Then you look over and you see a great bar, very handsome furnishings with the booths here, which are very popular. People actually stand in line to get a booth rather to go into our iconic dining room there. And then you see the dining room that is unique to Las Vegas, and you know you're in for a great experience. And while you're going to all these places, you're passing my wall of fame with my pictures of the various actors and movie stars and ball players and presidents that is on the wall there or outdoor with all the baseball players, that big baseball fan. So it's an experience. And by the time you're through, you had a great meal. You've had my Bombay Sapphire with a jalapeno, and you can't stand up. I've been the luckiest guy in the world. I have the best wife in the history of the world. Got 4 of the greatest children in the history of the world. They're all married to beautiful people, 6 little grandchildren. Well, some aren't bargains, but that's okay. No, I'm just kidding. They're all great. I think my family is the thing I'm most proud of. A lot of people say, what is your legacy? I don't believe in legacies. Legacy is for an old guy who's thinking about yesterday. I like to think I'm a young guy thinking about tomorrow. So I did it all, alpha to omega. As Tony Spilotro said, the Pesci character, you can only eat one steak at a time. And I hope you eat it at Oscars.